Very good morning, students. You are welcome to online classes of Oriental Public School. Today I am here with a video of class 9 Geography lesson 2. As you know, your topic is physical features of India. Already I have given two videos of this chapter, and today I am going to deal with some of the points of this chapter which were left in the earlier classes. So let's begin. First of all, I want to talk about the physiographic divisions of India. As you know, Indian land masses has been classified into 6 classes, as I have earlier told you. Indian landmass has been classified into 6 classes. These 6 classes are, just see here, these 6 classes are the peninsular plateau, the northern mountain and northern plain, coastal plain, the Indian island, and at last Indian desert. As you can see on the screen, these are the first one I have told, the peninsular plateau. The second one is a northern mountain, that is the Himalayan mountain. Northern plain at third, and the coastal plain at fourth, and Indian island fifth, and Indian desert is the sixth. These are the 6 classification of Indian landmass. Now I want to tell you about the India is a vast country with varied landforms. As you know, Indian landmass has been classified into varied form. Our country has practically all major physiographic division on the earth, like mountain, plains, deserts, plateaus, and island. So these are the features of Indian land masses. India is large land mass formed during different geological period. As we have these mountain, plain, desert, these all land masses have not formed in the same period. These land masses have been formed in the different geological period under different circumstances, which has influenced her relief. Means these mountain, plain, desert, this influence the relief of the places, because each physiographic division has certain its own features which are totally different from each other. Besides geological formation, a number of processes such as weathering, erosion, deposition have created and even modified the relief its present form. Now our next point is causes of plate movement. As you know, there are different causes for the plate movement, and the main cause I want to tell you is the excessive heat inside the earth, and this excessive heat creates main cause for the plate movement. Suppose that this is the surface of earth. Here we have insolation of sunlight, sun rays. The maximum amount of sun rays that falling on the earth return back to the space. Few of the amounts of the sunlight are trapped by the surface of the earth, and this happening gradually continuously happens for a long time. And what happen in result, a large amount of heat is intact inside the earth, which when become very intense and increase the internal temperature of the earth, and due to that many of the solids form, changes its state and become liquid. And this changing of a solid to liquid cause a force that is called convectional current, and the nature of this current is always to go from higher concentration to lower concentration, and during that process volcanic eruptions is taking place, and these volcanoes divert the plates, and this divergent is if intense way, then this divergent boundary also create two more boundary, that is transform and convergent. So these are the three plate boundaries, and which happens due to the excessive heat inside the earth, that I am going to tell you in this point. So plates at our planet surface move because of the intense heat in the earth's core. That cause molten rock in the mantle layer to move out. It moves in a pattern called a convectional shell that forms when warm material rises, cools, and eventually sinks down. As the cooled material sinks down, it warms and rises again. The movement of plates result in the building of the stresses with the plates. The continental rocks above leading to the faulting and volcanic activity. The faulting happens when two tectonic plates converge with each other. Suppose that these are the plates, and with the arrows you can find out the which. This is called convergent. Plate boundary. Due to the convergent plate boundary, stress is getting, and this result in the folding, and this folding leads to the formation of fold mountain. Fold mountain. I hope you have understood this one. Now there are two more plate boundaries that we will gradually read here. Just understand these two. One is divergent plate boundary. What happens in this case, when two tectonic plates diverge apart from each other? This arrow shows that the plates boundaries are getting detected from each other, and there is a gap in between these. This can be also called fault or gap. By this gap, many inside materials comes out of the surface and later on solidifies and form like some mountain structure, and this is called volcanic mountain. Volcanic mountains are formed in this way. So you have understood two plate boundaries, convergent and divergent. One more plate boundary is there, which is known as transform plate boundary. Transform plate boundary. When two tectonic plates slide past each other in a vertical strata, then transform boundary is taking place, and this plate boundary is called neither destructive nor constructive, because here no any destruction or creation activities is taking place. So you will keep in your mind, we have three types of plate boundaries: divergent, convergent and transform. I hope you have understood up to here. In the next class we will keep the topic continue and start the topic in next class. So thank you, have a nice day.